Okay, so this is bonus material now, all right? We took you from arrest all the way to sentencing, and we kept it very simple. We gave you a brief outline just so you understand what you're up against. But this part is to help you understand more options, and it gets a little complicated, so I'm going to describe stuff, and then I'm going to tell you that there's a link in the description below so you could learn more about that. Now, somewhere between the arrest and the sentencing, you have other options. You have probationary options. So instead of pleading guilty or going to trial and possibly getting incarcerated, going to jail or prison, somewhere along the way, there are programs that in New Jersey are called diversionary programs. A diversion just means that you're on the path, you're in the criminal justice system, and you're on the path to either a guilty plea or a trial. And somewhere along the way, you get off it. There's a diversion. You're diverted from staying on that path. So, at the superior court level for indictable offenses, we talked about that. Once you get indicted, there are a couple of programs that I'm going to discuss. One of them is Pretrial Intervention, otherwise known as PTI. You can find an entire video in the link below. And PTI is for indictable offenses, felonies. Some of them qualify, depending on what you're charged with. You may qualify for a probation, depending on who you are, meaning if you have a clean record, if you've never had any experience with the criminal justice system in New Jersey, then you qualify. The other one in New Jersey at the superior court level for indictable offenses is drug court. Drug court is a special program for people who are addicted to either alcohol, drugs, or both, and they commit a crime while they're under the influence. So their thinking was impaired, their judgment was impaired, and as a society, we have a greater interest in helping rehabilitate that person than we do punishing them. So drug court is another way to avoid going to trial or pleading guilty and going to prison. We have an entire video on drug court in the link below. Now I'm going to step down to misdemeanors. Misdemeanors in New Jersey are called disorderly persons offenses. They are heard in municipal court. And depending on what you're charged with, you may be eligible for a diversionary program or a probation. So there are two types: drug-related offenses and non-drug-related offenses. The drug-related offense at the misdemeanor level is called a conditional discharge. We have an entire video in the link below. And a non-drug-related misdemeanor is called conditional dismissal. Not all misdemeanors are eligible. For example, if you're charged with a simple assault in New Jersey that arose out of a domestic violence situation, then you're not eligible for the conditional dismissal at the misdemeanor level. Okay? So I just went over four probationary types, 4 ways to get off that path. But this is what I'm going to talk about too. Every single client that walks through the door always asks, can you get my charges dismissed? And the answer is yes, it is possible, but it is not easy. Charges get dismissed all the time, but it depends on the facts of your case. So there are legal ways to do it. For example, filing a motion to suppress. That means you've been charged with a felony drug crime, and we're challenging the way the police got the evidence. How did the police get the drugs? Did they get the drugs in violation of your constitutional rights? If they did, and we file a motion to suppress the drugs, and the court agrees with us that as a matter of law, your constitutional rights were violated, then there's a very good chance the drug charges are going to get dismissed. Another way to dismiss criminal charges is, as defense attorneys, we do our own investigation. And at the conclusion of our investigation, we find evidence that law enforcement did not have and the prosecutor doesn't have. So during the plea negotiations, we get together and we show the state, we show the prosecutor the evidence that exonerates you or shows that it wasn't you, it's a case of mistaken identity, you acted in self-defense. So just know that getting criminal charges dismissed is possible, but it's not easy. And we do have an entire video on how to get criminal charges dismissed. So, if you have any questions, the phone number is on the screen. Our website is in the link below. We love answering questions. We love helping people. So, I look forward to hearing from everybody. And that's all I have. God bless you.